As the crypto markets continue to bleed off, should you be cutting your losses in certain coins? Algorand, Litecoin, Solana, Cardano, Caspa, which one of these should you hold? And which one should you just say, you know what, I'll take the L and move on and deploy my money elsewhere? We're going to have that conversation. Also, one prominent crypto figure believes we're going to see a sub $50,000 Bitcoin heading into the weekend. Will he be right? Will he be wrong? What does that mean for the rest of the crypto markets? Also going to talk about the jobs numbers came out today. What is the Fed going to do and how's that going to affect crypto prices in the month of September? We have some news on Ethereum, whether there's too many factors going against ETH, and is it maybe a time to look at some other layer one solutions outside of Ethereum? We're going to have that conversation and much, much more on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take old, boring, and stale information that is full of panic and the markets are crashing, and we like to pat you on the back and tell you it'll be okay. 90K, here we come.
You're still really, come on.
Why? Why not?
Just say you were wrong. Say you're wrong. It's okay, man. Why are we wearing the same shirt today?
Mine has long sleeves. Yours has short sleeves. Okay.
Oh,
I just roll mine up.
yeah, okay. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy, man.
It's like the Step Brother twins, you know?
No, not at all. Not
Hey, Ashley, how
at
are
all.
you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. What are your thoughts on the market today? You think Jerome Powell's going to do 50 basis points or what?
Is the answer yes or no?
Probably. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you're
Mhm.
unsure, I always throw the maybe.
Maybe. Why not?
So markets are down. Bitcoin's at what, $53,800. Where will we go heading into the weekend? But I want to talk about this first. I want to talk about which of these coins should you sell, which one should you hold, and which one should you maybe add to your bag. So let's start with this one first. What do I mean by this one? I mean this one. XRP. 52 cents, down almost 5% on the day. You know, they have their stable coin coming out. A lot of people are saying, hey, the focus might be maybe steering away from XRP and, you know, adoption worldwide, globally with payments. Others say that no, we're going to, this thing's going to rally. So, Robin, I ask you, at 52 cents, are you better off ditching XRP, maybe taking an L? Maybe you're still in profit, depending on when you bought it, and rotating into other altcoins that might bring you more gains?
I just look at this. It's a top asset. It's going into a bull market. So what are other comparable top assets? If I'm going to decide, hey, do I want to invest? Do I want to put a position in on XRP for this bull market? This is outside of your long-term hodl position. If you have the conviction for 4+ years, sure, buy it, hold strong. You know, this is short-term price movement. If you're trying to gear up for the upcoming bull market and you're saying, hey, what do I want to pick up now on discount? You have to look at the other top projects. For me, I put this in the same basket: Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and I'll leave it there.
So I can answer the question?
And so for me, I say, which one would I rather get exposure to at this point, at these prices? Ethereum, Solana, or XRP? I think that of the three, XRP is at the bottom of my list. Now, once again, I'm not shorting Ripple. I'm not shorting XRP in the long term. I am shorting XRP at this current entry price for this upcoming bull market. 50 cents, we just kind of got here more recently. You know, if you look back at a little bit of a longer term time horizon, you can see that, you know, it did hang out at 20 cents during the bear market. And so at 20 cents, or last bear market, at 20 cents, could it get back down there? And not to mention, just last year, it was under 40 cents at 30 cents. So I don't find this as a value right now. At the same time, I look at Solana and I say, hey, this is at a deeper discount and a shorter term time horizon. So if you look at the 1 year for Solana, it was at $20 a year ago. Obviously, I think $20 is off the table, but could we see a $50? Could we see a $90 Solana? That 50, I don't think so. Could we see a sub $100 Solana if the price, if the market keeps dropping? I think so. So, what do I find has more upside? I gotta go Solana at $200 at its more recent high versus XRP at 80 cents, right? What do you think happens first? XRP 80 cents or Solana $200?
Solana.
So that's how and we did this yesterday. It's not that I think that one won't return you money. I think that if you have $10,000, for example, you decide to you say, hey, I want to buy some XRP, $10,000. If that's your choice, you're fading every other option, right? Because you could take that 10,000 and you can put it in other assets. And so for me, I compare similar market caps with comparable risk, and I say, hey, these are my plays. Which one am I going to go with? Choice A, B, or C. I got XRP, Solana, and Ethereum in there, but I think Solana at 2. I gotta go with Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum sitting at $2,200. You know, honestly, the markets are a little uncertain. I feel very confident that we're going to get a rally at the tail end of this month. I don't know if it'll quite get to 90,000. I think that this more recent pullback has diminished the chances of that. I will agree with you. I know that we're getting further away from that number. I would have hoped to have seen at this point in September us to be back over 60K. And then I think at that point we could say, hey, look, you know what? We're on the way to 90,000. That might be off the table, of course, because of the current price direction and the lack of time to rally that high. Not 100% off the table, but I do think that on the tail end of this, we're going to have rate cuts coming up. I think that the broader markets, the NASDAQ and Wall Street, I think they rally hard. And I think Bitcoin gets that next leg up. And then I'm still holding my breath on the Kamala and Trump debate in just a few short days. Perhaps having Bitcoin and crypto as one of the questions or talking points. And if that's the case, I think that you're going to get a big rally out of crypto. And so for me, Ethereum, I think is the safe play just because there's a lot of uncertainty in the market and there's still a lot of upside. And then I'd have to go Solana, and I'm going to go XRP.
It's crazy. That wasn't the question. So if you have XRP, are you selling it?
Like I said, yes, 100%. Okay.
Me too. Even if you're taking a loss.
I already told you, it doesn't matter. We've already went over this. So if I'm holding right now, unless like my first thing I said was, if this is your long-term position, then fine, hold it. You know what? It'll bounce back. It'll keep rallying. If you have conviction in the long term, don't do anything rash. If you're putting together a strategy for this bull market, my thing is I don't care what my entry price was. I'm moving my money around. If I have $10,000 and I put in 12, and I'm not going to write it down to whatever the number is, right? I'm not going to write it down to 6,000. I'm not going to watch everything else rally. And so I got no problem cutting losses and moving over. If your strategy is to say, hey, I bought this at $5, I'm not selling until it gets over $5. And then all of a sudden you're holding it all the way down to zero. Take NFTs for an example. Have you ever bought an NFT, David? And it's a couple Ethereum. At some point, you should reflect and you should say, hey, it's not going to get back up to 2.5 ETH. It's not going to get to 5 ETH.
Are you trying to
not
shots or what?
No, I'm just saying that if you are scared to sell at a loss, you are going to either write it to zero or you're going to watch the rest of the market push if it doesn't come back. If you said, hey, you know what? I got Litecoin. I bought it at this. Like, let me ask you a question. If you had Litecoin, I know at some point you bought Litecoin, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's just say you still hold it. Are you going to hold it for eternity because you think it's going to get to $300?
How'd you know about Litecoin?
Everybody's bought Litecoin that's in the market for a while. So anyways, I sold my Litecoin so long ago and it was at a loss. And so yet another example, if you lose conviction in it outperforming at least Bitcoin, get out, move it over. I'm not saying sell and then put it in your bank account, put your head down and be like, damn it. But hey, if you're down 10%, you don't think it's going to rally hard. If you're in some stupid ass meme coin, you put in $5,000 and now you're at 2,200. Sell the damn meme coin and put it into something that's going to return some gains.
There's something called opportunity cost, right? So while you might be sitting there looking at your position, and whether it's XRP or any other coin, and you're like, oh man, I'm down 30%. I just want to get back to even. While you're waiting to get back to even, there's going to be other coins and other projects and other people making money while you're still sitting there down 30%. Moves up a little bit. Now you're down 20%. That opportunity cost of not making money if you were in a different coin is real. You add that on top of, hey, if this thing goes against you. So I'm with Robin. I am getting out of my XRP position. I think you could potentially get into it cheaper, but I don't think XRP is going to have a 5-10x run anytime soon. I really don't. And so you mentioned Litecoin. That was my next coin.
You already know where I stand on this.
I'm a holder of this one. Yeah. Yeah. If I have a position on Litecoin right now,
Sell me on Litecoin. Sell me on Litecoin.
well, you see what happened was, look, Litecoin's been around for a very long time. It's integrated with every single platform. You talk about PayPal launches crypto.
Who's using Litecoin on PayPal?
No. I'm just saying.
Nobody.
Like these platforms and exchanges that launch that are outside of crypto. What are the 4 coins, Robin? They always integrate.
It has a very deep.
A Bitcoin, ETH, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin.
Litecoin is listed. It has a very beautiful marketplace. Yes.
Have you heard of Mimblewimble? All I'm saying is, Litecoin's tokenomics are great. It's about as decentralized as Bitcoin is. And I think that people see it. They look at Bitcoin, Litecoin. Ooh, Litecoin, $63. A lot of people say it's the silver to Bitcoin. I'm not giving you my personal stance on it. I am giving you the next person who's going to come in and buy. What could possibly they be thinking in buying Litecoin?
So when markets drop, people really act irrational and their brains get all scrambled up. So I genuinely am surprised at that one.
Do you really?
Hey, what's next? You're gonna have like the little the pumps on your shoes and be like, bro, it makes you jump higher, man. Like, look, man, stop living in the past, man.
Dude,
get out of here.
Those are cool shoes.
Go return your Blockbuster VHS and sell your Litecoin.
Don't forget to rewind it though.
He's like, but Blockbuster's now taking Litecoin as payment. Like, stop it.
You don't
All
think?
right, look,
okay, you don't think Litecoin rallied 100?
It's a terrible thing. Get out of there, man. I don't care. You know what? If you happen to miss some gains on Litecoin, if Litecoin all of a sudden goes from $60 to $85, oh well. You know what? You missed out on some mediocre life-changing money. Okay, get out of there and move it over to something that has potential to change your life. Right?
Mediocre life-changing money. Okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
That's like
so. Would you rather?
That's like the middle-aged guy going from his Lexus to that 3-year-old Corvette that he's really proud of. You know what I mean? It's like, look, I know you stepped it up a little bit.
Wait, didn't you just buy a Corvette?
I don't have a Corvette, but don't ever buy a Corvette. Or if you do, at least get it like one of the nicer new ones. Don't buy a 3-year-old Corvette and try to pretend like it's nice.
They're
and then take a
cars,
selfie
man.
picture of you sitting on the hood. Don't do it.
XRP or Litecoin?
XRP. You could put Litecoin against everything. I honestly, I would say okay.
Rocco's face turns into a San
I
Francisco
would.
movie.
I mean, this is.
Want to do Bitcoin or Neo?
Okay,
Let's do the
and
same.
I mean this with. I'm such a crypto degen, but honestly, I would rather buy a 10-year Treasury bond than Litecoin.
I want to know what the
And I have zero faith in fiat.
I want to know what the chat thinks. Are you holding Litecoin here, or are you selling it even if it's at a loss?
How about this? Would you rather buy a 10-year Treasury bond, put a 1 in the chat, Or would you rather buy Bitcoin, put a 2 in the chat? Who's going to return more?
Bitcoin?
Or excuse me, Litecoin, sorry. Litecoin 2, 10-year treasury bond in fiat US dollars 1.
You'll be surprised by the. I would ask Rocco the question of XRP or Litecoin, but I'm pretty sure I know where he's.
Rocco, am I just in my own little world here, or is there any chance that Litecoin
Yeah, Litecoin
crosses
is going to
multiple-
come back when the bull run. It's going to run up again, like it did the past cycle, which I get rid of it. Thanks God. Like everybody, you say at the beginning, everybody owns Litecoin at the beginning, and then it faded out. And if you want to wait, maybe you can wait just at least until next year. See if you can grab something out of it. And yeah, but I won't stay in Litecoin anymore.
Also, Mimblewimble V2 is coming out.
Yeah, but I remember even the
that
first
real?
one that came out. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know. I'm a holder. You're obviously a seller. Okay, what about this one?
Cardano.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I love Cardano right now. I'm surprised it's still at above 30 cents. With the pullback,
You're surprised it's still like as a good thing?
both. I think that the community is very strong. There's a lot of staking. And I think there's a lot of buy orders. I think people that are looking at Cardano saying, hey, you know what? This is at deep discount. I'll just say this. I have been waiting to pull the trigger on Cardano. I was eyeballing it at 40 cents, and I was like, I cannot get in at 40 cents. I was like, I got to wait for this thing to pull back for this big chunk buy I'm about to put in. And this is a 5-figure buy. And I ran this last bull market. And so I'm planning on doing the same thing this time. And I was looking at it at 40 cents. I saw it at 38. And I was like, nah, I can't do it. I'm going to wait. I was like, I have a feeling it's going to pull back. And then it got down to 34, then 32 cents. Now, my thing, though, is when you look at how far down Bitcoin is today, almost 5%. It's down 8.5% on the week. And then you go down to Cardano, it's only down 3% and 8% on the week.
Will you scroll up more? Or down? Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, so you got Cardano here. And so less than 4% down. So 3.8% down on the 24 and down 8% on the day. So I have a feeling that if Bitcoin goes a little lower, or say it just doesn't pump back over 55 over the weekend, I think Cardano loses support at 30 and we see a 28-cent Cardano. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pick up that 20.
You're trying to time the bottom. That's what you're trying to do.
I don't know where the bottom is. You know what? I'm very happy at 28 cents. Even if it goes down to say 22, I just don't see it going. Honestly, I don't see it.
So you're willing to risk waiting 3 cents and maybe Cardano comes out and
That's
pumps
10%.
up to 50.
Yeah, 10%. I'm planning on putting 20 grand into it. And so for me, 10% is $2,000. And so I want to, and I'm on a shorter term time horizon. So if I get in at 28 cents and then it rallies up to back to 30, back up to 31 cents, I'm up like $2,200 immediately. And so that's where I'm at. And I'm not trying to ride this thing to $2. I'm just trying to get in at like 28 cents, probably sell at 50 cents, cash out 34 grand. That's my strategy here. And I think it'll be a very, very easy swing trade for me. I think it's just going to be a walk in the park for me.
So you're willing to wait. What if
That's what I just said, yeah.
What if Cardano pumps?
That's fine. I'll find something else that has similar token entry and exit positions. And so I don't. Here's the thing. I'm eyeballing Cardano because I understand the retail aspect of it, how fast it pumps, where it was earlier this year. And if I miss it, that's fine. I'll identify 4 or 5 other ones, and then I'll just kind of try to execute that same strategy. Money is so easy to make during the early stages of a bull market. You just got to see what has the potential to pump, what is down on the short term, what's oversold, get in on that. And right now with Bitcoin dropping, I think there's a host of different projects out there that you can get exposure to.
Brokioshi said, Robin, would you rather hold a Litecoin or a rookie card signed by Jamarcus Russell?
Mm.
Remember that guy? He was so overhyped. Didn't he play for the Raiders?
He did for a little bit. Yeah.
All right, the next one. Next one's interesting because a lot of people say that this coin has topped. 20 cents was the top. I don't believe that. And take a look at the 1 month chart on Caspa. We are down from the high of around 20 cents. We're at 14 cents. So I'm assuming a lot of people, or majority of people, at least the people watching in our community, because you guys have been talking about this thing since 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, that they're up. Is it time to rotate into something new?
I think because Caspa ran so hot and heavy, it hasn't had a major correction yet. And so if there's ever a time to have a major correction, it's, as far as timing, I think now kind of aligns.
This is the 1 year chart.
Yeah. So there's been no major correction. We've had, make a new high, pull back 20%, make a new high, pull back 20%. I think that Caspa, per the chart, nothing to do with the fundamentals, nothing to do with the team, nothing to do with the vision, nothing to do with the future. But if I'm looking at Caspa, I think you're going to get a really good entry opportunity here as well. I think that 10 cents is probably something I'll be eyeing.
I'm pretty sure I talked about these levels in the last Caspa video I did.
Yeah, this 10 cent mark, that was back in February, right? And so we saw that a lot of our favorite projects hit their 1 year high in February and then pulled back. And here you have a 10 cent mark back in February. And I think we're going to go back down to 10 cents before the next rally. And so for me, I'm a big buyer of Caspa if it pulls back more. The one thing is, though, I think that I'm still eyeballing that Cardano trade, man. And so for me, I don't know.
I think you might be waiting. I think you might not see 28 cents. Maybe. So I just look at your potential upside versus the risk of potential upside.
I think we're at 28 cents this weekend.
Okay. I want to share this video. This was me 6 days ago talking about this Caspa chart. VRVP, and I add on my price action concepts from Lux Algo. Another key thing in this area to watch is this trading here, right? You have around 740 million Caspa being traded in this zone between 13.6 and around 14.5 cents. We saw some of that was selling, but we had a lot of buying in there as well. And we are currently trading prices is really chopping sideways around this equilibrium zone between 15.1 and 15.7. And this could all change. This validated smart contracts go, we see meme down 20%, essentially push the. Anyways, I talk about a potential 10 cent Caspa. And so, but this 14 cent level, I talked about this a week ago. This is pretty strong support, and we're seeing that, right? Take a look on the day, Caspa's down only 3.7%. On the week, it's down 14%. Now, you want to talk about a good swing trade. If you're patient enough to wait for Caspa at 10 cents, I think you can make a lot of money there. So, and then last one, and I want to keep this one a little more short. Algorand, sell or buy? I'm a seller. I'll take an L on Algorand and I'll move on. I'd rather put it into something like Avalanche, put it into something like Cardano, put it into something like ICP, Caspa. I'd rather take a 30% loss if I'm there and throw it into something like Hedera than keep it in Algorand. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just will it return to its former glory, right?
Over $3. I don't know.
Yeah.
You think it's going to get to over $3 again?
$3 was the market maker mismatch, right? And so I think that realistically, if you remove its opening price and it dropped immediately from $3 to 20 cents. And so it has a lot of that like ICP vibes. And so for me, I would say like, hey man, You look here, $3 is what it came out at, and then down to 20 cents 2 months later. But then, last bull market, it got up to $1.80. So $1.80, I look at $1.80 as kind of its top. I think it like briefly smacked $2, but
No, it was up there. So this is the Binance chart. So we got a wick up to $3. Some call this a scam wick, $2.98.
that's a scam, bro.
But still, we get $2.37.
So $2, yeah. So $2. So flashes up above $2 for a brief period of time, and yeah.
So you're a seller?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I'm not signed on to the long-term vision because of the lack of partnerships, headlines. It just doesn't have the buzz that some of the other projects do. And like I said before, you know what? It's at 11 cents, previous all-time high. If you remove the listing, $2, so you're about 20x away. I got no problem if all of a sudden this thing starts catching headlines and making partnerships and getting buzz. I got no problem getting in at 40 cents and then riding that thing up to like $1.20 or something. But until it starts moving and until it starts breaking out, I'm not touching it.
Okay,
and I'm selling if I have it, which I don't have any Algorand. So
I actually just sold mine this past week. I rotated over into some other alts. Before we move forward, we want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you want a business and you want to maximize your networking, IT, and your cybersecurity, we know how important that is these days. You're going to want to visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. They'll help you get going with anything you need help with. They've been very integral in our success here at Sin City Crypto with our production. So big shout out to them. So you might be wondering, why is Bitcoin down under 54K? Well, the jobs numbers came out and, well, they disappointed. Bitcoin falls under 54K as jobs data disappoints. What's the jobs data? According to Michael Van de Poppe, job openings, worst in 3 years. Non-farm employment change, worst in 3 years. Non-farm employment, or ADP non-farm and then regular non-farm, second worst in 3 years. And then talks about how gold moves, how Bitcoin has moved. We take a look at the jobs revised down an additional 86,000 jobs. And so now people are catching on like, yeah, we've actually been losing jobs. And so what will Jerome Powell do? There's a lot of speculation. Is it going to be a 50 basis point rate hike? That number has gone up to over 50, I think 60 or 55% of a 50 basis point rate hike versus a 25 basis point rate hike. And the one the Fed looks at, I can argue the closest outside of obviously CPI and inflation, is unemployment rate. We actually went down year over year in August versus year over year in July to 4.2%. I think people, it's a foregone conclusion. We are going to get a rate cut. Now they're trying to figure out, is it 50 basis points or is it 25 basis points? Either way, I do think we'll see a drawdown immediately in the markets. Going into October, then I think we're going to see a big rally in all markets. And then Arthur Hayes believes we're going to see a sub 50K Bitcoin over the weekend. Do you agree with my friend Arthur here? And what are your thoughts on what the Fed and how that's going to affect the markets?
No, I don't think Bitcoin drops that low.
You don't think it drops under 50K?
No, I think 52 will be the lowest. I think it'll drop. What I'm just like, where are you at? I know you've been pumping this 40K Bitcoin, or 40 and change Bitcoin for the last week. So
I mean, take a look at what happened last time, right? When we had that wick down to 49, we had a massive liquidity grab, right? You see here with the bordered out candle wick, this was a liquidity grab. What does that mean? That means a shitload of buying happened. And this was also right in our discount zone. And so I would expect maybe the same thing, but instead of settling in around 54, I think we settle in at 52. So I can see another wick down to like 49, 48.5. You start seeing these liquidations and people panicking and illiquid markets over the weekend. And then I think we see a liquidity grab, and I don't think it's going to be as big as this one was, back up to 54,000. I think we settle in around 52. That's where I'm thinking. But I do have a long position, a limit order set for $50,589. Don't ask me why, but that's the target I'm in, and I'm looking to cash out around 52.5 or 53. It's like a 4x isolated long position on Bitcoin. And so we know, I mean, you take a look weekly, what has Bitcoin done weekly? This Bitcoin on the week, every Sunday, or no, we want to go day and take a look at Sundays. Every Sunday, we've seen big rallies, right? So this was, when was Sunday? This was Sunday, September 1st. Bitcoin drew down 3%, right? And it always happens right before the market, the candle closes, right before the week closes. The week prior to that, this was where was the other Sunday? The other Sunday was right here. We were flat. Outside of that, we had a big rally Sunday, another big drop down on a Sunday as well. So Sundays going into the market close, at least for the candles, we should see a rally, whether it's to the upside or a rally to the downside. Who knows? But you should be really prepared for anything. Yeah, I want to know what the chat thinks. Are you guys with Arthur Hayes? Do you think a sub 50K by Sunday? If you think that's going to happen, put a 1. If you don't think so, put a 2. Yeah.
See, my thing is that, well, first of all, you have Peter Schiff here, the antithesis of Bitcoin, has just tweeted and said, "Attention, sailor! Bitcoin needs another bailout. It's time for MicroStrategy to take one for the team and borrow another $1 billion to buy more."
Wow.
This is not him encouraging him realistically. I think he is obviously being facetious. But, here's an interesting tweet from Benjamin Cowan. And so he says the average return on BTC for September is typically a sub 6%. So minus 6.3 is the average for September, right? It's so supposed to be in
The
the
worst
red.
month of the year.
Yeah. And so he had mentioned that so far this month, BTC is currently at minus 8.16. And so for me, I always look at it like, hey, if the median is supposed to be 6 and we're currently at 8, then I think that the downside loss has been reached. I think that maybe we go down to 52, but I think that that's it, man. I think that you already had a down August, right? If you look here for August, so last month, we were already down 8.4%. And then now currently down another 8%. I would say, hey, you know what? I think this is kind of the local bottom. I think that we do rebound from here. And so for me, I don't see this becoming a 10, a 12%, right? Or what do you think? I know you mentioned.
I think at some point it will be down 10, 12%.
This
but
month?
I think but I think to close, we get to that closer to that 6 to 8%.
Yeah.
But either way, our stance on Bitcoin. I want to talk about this. This has caused a lot of commotion. Co-founder and executive chairman of Ripple, Chris Larson, has officially endorsed Kamala Harris. Very interesting here. So, XRP community is up in arms. They're upset. They're mad. At the end of the day, it's a personal choice. He wants to support whoever he supports. But to me, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know. Have any thoughts on this? I know it's polarizing here, talking politics, but hey.
I don't know. Like what? Why?
Why?
At what point has Kamala and the current executive office what have they done that
Except
has been
make
positive
you
for
spend $200 million on feed lawyers?
Yeah, no, the SEC aside, like, no, I mean, what has the executive branch? What would make Ripple? What would make Chris Larson take that side? Like, what is it, right? I feel like it's the dude that has a girlfriend that is cheated on him, that, like, drove his car drunk and then wrecked it, and then, like, all of his friends are like, bro, what positives are you finding here? And then your friend,
I love her, man.
Yeah, I love her, man. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Chris is joining us next week on the show.
Is he?
I'm just kidding.
If he was, I straight up asked him, like, hey, man, can you explain to me what is behind this? Like, why would you support her? Is there something that we're not noticing? And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or did he run into her one night?
Well, the
Have a late night?
Crypto
No,
for
no.
Stop it. Jesus Christ. Okay. This is an interesting take here. Okay. This is from Van Eck. They put out a report, and the headline reads here: Ethereum faces competition and revenue issues, says Van Eck. They outlined 3 reasons, the 3 biggest challenges to Ethereum, right? So in its August 2024 Crypto Monthly Recap, Van Eck outlined a detailed analysis of the factors contributing to the poor performance of ETH. The 3 issues are a general decline in network revenue, which directly correlates to the people using the network. Deliberate policy choices, can assume moving to proof of stake, everything else the Ethereum Foundation does. And the last one, value extraction from layer 2 solutions and service providers. Which of these 3 do you think poses the biggest long-term downside effect or downside, a negative to Ethereum? I look at something like Solana, and why does it rally? Why did it rally? Every single transaction settles directly on the layer 1. There is not a layer 2. There's not a scaling solution. Everything happens on the L1. And so for me, I would probably go with the third one. What about you? Are any of these 3 the one you're most worried about for Ethereum's future? Is it decline in network revenue, meaning you don't think people are going to use a chain moving forward? Is it their policy choices and the decisions the Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik have made? Or is it just, hey, there's too many other competitors and there's too many layer 2s?
I think it's the competition, honestly.
It's competition.
Yeah, because for me, I look at it like, hey, you're supposed to be the innovative smart contract space. You're supposed to be the king of utility, right? But if you are having struggles with using it because of throughput, scalability, cost effectiveness, those have not yet been addressed. And the throughput and scalability is down simply because a lack of users, right? Because wouldn't you estimate that if all of a sudden you had a surge of if you had all of a sudden you had a surge of users on the network, you were minting all kinds of stuff, don't you think that the fees would go up tremendously?
Tremendously.
What are you laughing at?
You know exactly what I'm laughing at.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I do, but we always Chase and Rocco know exactly what I'm talking about. We know I literally lost my train of thought, dude. Jesus Christ. We talk about interconnectedness and what ICP and near protocol with chain abstraction and being able to dip into any liquidity pool on any layer 1. I mean, you have that too, but doesn't mean that I think Ethereum is not valuable. I think ETH at what, $2,200?
But okay, so real quick, if the users came back, projects were building, people were using it, gas fees skyrocket, throughput is still bottlenecked. It hasn't addressed that issue, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's the big problem. And so if you're supposed to onboard the world and use cryptocurrency, smart contracts, you're not going to do it through Ethereum at its current state. Now, we expect it to change and evolve. The scaling solutions are supposed to alleviate the network. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Anything you want to share?
Yeah. So here, I've been looking at the Algorand chart in a little bit more
is that what you're
detail.
looking at?
Bitcoin is
Algorand chart, huh?
Look, so since we started the show, here's interesting. So we started the show, we were at 54,000. So now we're at 53.6. What do you think this is going to look like in the next couple months? I meant to say in the next couple hours, excuse me.
Oh, a couple hours?
Do you think that this thing keeps dropping? Because
we might. Rob, here's the thing.
7 a.m. we were at 56,000. 3.5 hours later, we're at 53.
Here's the thing. what is the S&P and the NASDAQ and what are they doing, right? Dow is down 430 points. NASDAQ is down 2.5%. S&P is down 1.75%. We know leading into the market close, right? Typically after we start seeing the ETF settle. Are we going to see big outflows from the ETFs today? And if we do, we should see sell pressure from Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. I think getting down to that 52.5, 52K level by the, let's just say, what time is it? 11:40. In the next 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, I think it's plausible. But I think you got a lot of buyers coming in, man. I mean, you take a look at where Bitcoin was, right? Between 60 and 70K for such a long time. You look at a $52,000 Bitcoin, that is a pretty steep discount for an asset that I'm pretty sure you watching and everyone else that understands and has invested or has learned or studied Bitcoin knows that over time, it continues to go up and to the right. So that's what I think. Also, I want to give a big thank you to Jimmy. Jimmy gifted 20 memberships, to which Ashley, yet again, has not gotten one. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Ashley? Are you upset?
You know what? I know he wants it that way, but
I don't know.
man, what the hell?
I could argue that Jimmy did that to see if you would get one, so he did it for you.
All right, and then did want to give a little love to the chat. Did see some new faces. We got a lot of lurkers that haven't said anything.
Go ahead, Robert. Yeah,
Conversation is-
good.
A lot of lurkers that haven't said anything that have popped up as well. We got XO Coconut Monkey. We have Chump Chang XD Mining. And then some of the new members that we've onboarded as well. You have, let's see here, AG. You got Crypto Nate, C. Harris, Melissa, Gingerfication, Lasky, Bob Gnarly, Y, Alex K, C's Look, Mike C, Lakai, Omar Williams, Butterball, Scotty Moe, Crash, to all of you. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Coast.
Wow.
That was very long.
Yeah.
It took a while to read that.
You notice how we didn't interrupt you?
Yeah, that's very kind of us
Yeah.
to not interrupt.
Yeah.
Very mindful.
Yes. That'll do it for the show today. We hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Fear not, the market's always bounce back. If you are feeling nervous, you might be a little over leveraged.
Yeah, you're good. Normal pullback.
Yeah.
No need to panic.
Yeah, 90K, here we come. September, right? Right. Anyways, Rocco. That was a good timing there, Rocco. Have a great weekend, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you back here on Monday. We'll see what happens over the weekend. Can't wait to talk to you about it. Have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Peace.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.